Judges, my name is Prasetyo from SMA Negeri Karangpandan, and the motion today is in post-conflict states, e.g. post-civil war, regime change, colonialism, this House believes that history textbook should focus on teaching bottom-up historiography rather than the top-down historiography. And after analyzing proposition's argument, I'm ready to rebuke their arguments because they say that the top-down historiography has no sense of reliability, but in our side, there's indeedly a relation between the leader and the people. Obviously, leaders has their rights to rule their people, and the people accept or decline their leader's rule. So it shows the sign of reliability. Therefore, proposition's argument isn't reliable. We as the people tend to glorify our post-leader as a sense of pride, like how Indonesians be proud of Sukarno, for example, and how the South Korean people be proud of their king, Sejong the Great, for example, etc. And the proposition's side said that the top-down historiography isn't systematic, but why can't we analyze from the top to the bottom? Because people are highly influenced by their leaders' circumstances, rules they made, or etc. And because of analyzing it from the top, it will show more systematical side, because you look from the highest point that shaped the society all the way to the bottom. More understandable and more systematic rather than studying it from the bottom to the top. And the proposition side also said that validation is needed for every people who fought in a war or somehow related to it on a lower position like the people. But it is so ineffective. How can we honor every single of them? Because the proposition said that by historiographing it into a textbook, but it will just have no impact. Serious impact, because in society in that era is already represented by the leader. Note that we are not saying that ordinary people are useless, but they are already represented by the leader. So therefore there's no need to studying it from the bottom to the top, because the people on the bottom itself has already represented by the leader in the top. And moving on to my argument, I accept the definitions of the proposition team, and here I will deliver my argument to show you that history textbook should focus on teaching top-down historiography. In post-conflict states, the people and the country condition is fragmented because of the conflict occurred before. So the countries need to do this: A, rebuilding shared nation's identity, and B, preventing conflicts from happening again. And to help realizing this need, I have two arguments that can help to break proposition's belief. 1. Top-down historiography prevents modern fragmentation. In bottom-up historiography, every group of people, every group of ethnic, every group of religion has different story on how they lived through the war, fought in the war, etc. So if they teach us every single respective story, that will create a battlefield on the textbook rather than creating a bridge that will unite us all. Why this matter? Because A, every group has different memory on how the conflict occurred. B, playing victim kind of story will dominate. And C, historiography can become grouped and fragmented, not as a unity. With top-down historiography, it can create A, one narrative, one story, B, one timeline, preventing fragmentation, and C, one united identity which can induce the feeling of nationalism and patriotism. Without this top-down historiography, history class will continue learning ethnics, communities, etc., their factions, rather than the nations itself. And two, my second argument is, students who study history needs clarity and context before complexity. Students first need A, clear chronological events, B, causes and consequences, and C, subjects that involve. And in bottom-up historiography, it mainly teaches how people are oppressed, genocide, etc., without learning the reason why it happened, and there's no structural understanding that can be the backbone of this historiography. So students might experience suffering or hardship on learning this history without the understanding of A, governance failure, B, economic cause, C, intervention from outside the nation, or D, diplomacy, etc. Top-down historiography provide clear map before students swim deeper into individuals' group stories, therefore making learning process simpler and effective without missing any point. So with all those reasons, oppose. Thank you.